right, welcome to episode 4 of Inside the Locker Room with Raider Dad. I have a special guest today, PowerRaider. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Fantastic. Thanks so much for inviting me to your show. I do appreciate you, especially you and everything you do out there in your community. Your giving heart and all that, and you allow me to be part of those special epic moments. I do appreciate you a lot.
Yeah, I really appreciate the support, and I think we're going to be doing some other things together. But for our viewers that don't really know what you do, not only in Raider Nation but in the community, we share a little bit about yourself and any social media handles that people can follow.
Cool. Well, I'm known as Power Raider. People have called me the Raider Ranger, the Silver and Black Ranger. My social media, all my platforms is at GoGo PowerRaider. So if you've seen Power Rangers, you know they say GoGo Power Rangers, but mine is GoGo PowerRaider. So you'll find me in all the social media platforms through there. My character is a Power Ranger that's morphed, and it's a big mashup with the Raiders. Um, a lot of the times, when people ask me, how did I come about me being Power Raider? What was the creation? How what gave me the idea to morph into Power Raider, right? And I always grew up watching Raiders football. I grew up watching Power Rangers. So Saturdays you had Power Rangers, Sundays you had football, and so it was an epic highlight, in my childhood, and my escape was always sports. I played football in my high school years and all that, and so now I don't know if you noticed, but I'm in a health track right now. I'm down 22 pounds. I'm doing these challenges. I'm doing the push-up challenges, and I'm doing this 75-day hard challenge. And in less than 40 days, I'm down 22 pounds. And a lot of people just been complimenting left and right. And, part of it is because I want to feel healthy and have a well-balanced life. It's very important that we have our square. We're very squared, spiritually, financially, emotionally, and what's it called? So spiritually, financially, emotionally. Man, I forgot the last one, and I just read it right now. Well, there's four
Yes.
parts that we have to take care of: spiritually, financially, emotionally. Oh, physically. Duh, right? I was just talking about it right now. And and it's crazy because what's it called? Successful people, adapt successful habits, and they tend to hang out with people with the like frequency, the same energy, and that's why my circle, I have friends, the connections I have, it's people that have that positivity. You're included in that circle. I like what you bring to the table with Raider Nation, and because it's the giving mentality. And when I decided to be Power Raider, I was 320 pounds.
Oh,
I
wow.
was, yeah, I was going to the Oakland games. I wasn't healthy. I was partying, drinking, and what have you. I was in my mid
Yeah.
20s, and eventually I started having heart issues. And that moment, when I was at the ER, and my heart went AFib. And it was actually until the third time I got cardio converted. So I'm not sure if you
Oh,
know what
wow.
cardio converted is
No.
when they kill your heart and they shock you back alive. And
Oh, wow.
those three, yeah, and there was three different episodes that happened in my life. And sometimes you don't learn the first time, you don't get on track the second time or the third. And until the third time, it's when my doctor basically said, "Hey, if you want to see your daughter walk down the aisle, when she gets married, everything, you got to get back in shape." Because I shared stories with him when I was in high school. I'm a prime fit and everything, and she's all like, "You could do it. It's a matter of just wanting to do it." And so the last moment, the last time I got cardio converted, when I had to do my goodbye videos, because you are not guaranteed to come back alive. When they
Right.
shock you back alive. I made a commitment to myself that I'm gonna get back, get healthy, you know, because it was sad. It was sad to say goodbye to my kids, you know, in a video because I didn't know if I was coming back. And
Hmm.
so that 2018 was the last time an episode happened like that. Started losing weight. 2019 came around, and then they announced that the Raiders were moving to Las Vegas. And I was always a giver. I was always helping out wherever I could in my community, giving
Hmm.
back. And my friends would always say, "Well, you know, you do so much. Well, have you ever thought about being a super fan or anything like that?" And I'm like, "Well, what can I be? What can I do?" You know, me being, you know, a person that loves children. Um, I how can I put it to you? I'm a foster dad. I was a foster dad for 8 years. I adopted my son through the system, and I have another kid in my care right now, and we're gonna adopt him too.
Oh, wow,
And
that's
so
great.
that shows, you know, I had both of them. Well, one was 6 and one was no 5 and 3 or 6 and 4. I'm not sure. It was 2012 when I got both of them, and they had them for 8 years, and then one of them, when mom got parental rights to go back to get the kids back, the oldest was
Mm.
over 12 years old, and he decided not to go back with mom, and he asked us to adopt him, so we adopted him. The youngest one, he didn't have no choice. I had to go back. But
Mhm.
fast forwarding that, what's it called? He had a fallout with stepdad, and now he's back in my care. You know, he went
Okay.
from fails to A's and B's, so his grades are phenomenal right now. With that said, you know, I always wanted to have a lot of kids. Being young and coming from a Hispanic
Mhm.
family, we're known to have a lot of kids. And it never happened. You know, it never happened. There's a reason why, and only the man upstairs know why, right? It never happened. So
Mm.
I met
Right.
my wife, and I had an instant family. You know, I had the two kids in my care. I had a son in the way, and it was just my family was just growing, and so I was always that giving heart person, and so
Mhm.
because I love kids and I love to mentor people and everything. Um, it was easy for me to be a foster parent. You know, it was no big deal because it was like, all right, cool. I'm a full time teacher. You know, but I have to make sure I guide these kids, show them the principles, show them what's missing for them is that missing piece in their heart, showing them the love. And I'm like, all right, cool. Now retracting to Oakland when I decided to be Power Raider, I'm like, what am I
Mhm.
gonna? What do I want to do? Um, do I want to be a scary figure? You know, because as a Raiders, you know, you have the image of that evil person, a strong dude, you know, and
Right.
so, and it's cool. It's totally cool. I would love to do that too, but for some kids, it could be scary for them, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, you know what? And I just searched my soul. I would say searched inside of me. I'm like, what I want to do, what did I like when I was a kid, and I thought about the two things I was watching when I was a kid, and I said, oh, I could be a Power Ranger. You know, I already have the connections with the original Power Rangers. I know a lot of the cast
Mhm.
members. You know,
Right.
and I'm like, okay. And it was funny because when I pitched it to my friends, they're like, you're gonna wear spandex. Oh, you're gonna do this.
No,
They're,
I really like the character. Well, one, because whenever I was younger, Power Rangers were like the thing. I don't know how popular Power Rangers are with today's generation, but I think it's really cool to add that character to be able to morph into a special Raiders fan. I really like the idea of your character, and I think what's cool about Raider Nation is uh, we try to find our own ways to pass different passions on to other people. And that might be in the form of a purpose, and I think that's what's unique about our fan base is, we find ways to use our passion to create other opportunities for people and go a little bit into some of your community work. It can relate to your nonprofit or some things that you do with our fan base.
so. I'm always welcome and involved to collaborate with different uh booster clubs, different clubs, or different event organizers that call me and say, "Hey, we're gonna do a backpack drive, a school supply drive. Hey, we're gonna do a turkey drive," and I'm always there. It's
Hmm.
like it's rare for me to say no. I'm like, just if they
Right.
ask me, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get involved, and then I always try to give back. One, to show the community, where what the good things as a Raider fan and as a super fan we could do, give back to the community. A lot of people believe. Sorry, my ring is going off, so I'm not sure if I can do that.
That's good.
Yeah, somebody's at the door. But anyways, a lot of people see a super fan and they're like, well, what does he do? Is it just the look at me person? No, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I always recommend people. When people ask me, I have a lot of people say, hey, I want to be a character, and I'm like, well, it's not about just dressing up. You're gonna be a role model to the community. It's about giving back. It's not about you. It's but the mission you're representing. You got to find out your why you're doing this.
Right.
You're gonna show your love for the fandom for Raider Nation, but at the same
Hmm.
time, you could bring others up with you, you know. And so, um, as I was sharing earlier, being a foster dad and going through those channels, I started seeing that there wasn't that much awareness for foster kids.
Hmm.
You'll only see like what Wednesday's Child. You only see like highlights here and there about foster kids, but there really isn't anything. You'll see like autism awareness, you domestic violence awareness, breast cancer awareness. You see all these awareness, but never for these kids.
Right.
And I went through these challenges, and I was like, well, let me see, what I could do. Talk to my wife and say, hey, I want to do this for the kids. I'm like, well, why don't you do it? I mean, you're already doing it. You could be a great example. And I started 2 years ago, the
Hmm.
nonprofit called Raiders United Now Squad, which is an
Hmm.
acronym for Rent Squad. And I was sharing earlier with another sorry. I was sharing
That's
earlier
okay.
with that we did a video that I was actually gonna name it Pray Power Rangers Adoptable Youth. It was gonna be called Power Rangers Adoptable Youth, but I didn't want to mix it up with politics or religion, because a lot of those two, like, there's four things you shouldn't be talking about: politics, religion, vaccine status, and what was the other one? I keep forgetting.
Yeah, that's okay.
Politics. But you don't want to mix that, and that's why you never see me sharing stuff like that on my social media. I
Right.
try to keep it clean. I don't like to play this tug of war or get into debates or anything like that. I try to be as friendly as possible and open to everybody. And so that's like, okay, it's not gonna be Prey, it's not gonna be Power Rangers or Power Rangers. So we decided, okay, we'll go ahead and do a Run Squad, and from there we just started what's it called, collaborating with Child Haven out there in Clark County, Nevada. What's it called? We'll get donation tickets and then take the kids to the preseason games. Usually those are the tickets they'll donate. The season ticket
Right.
games, I don't know how lucky you get, but you get them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, well, then again, you're grinding. I can see all your efforts, what you're doing. You're promoting it, and you have the time, and that's what I need. I don't have that much time to do a lot of stuff, but we talked earlier. When was it? Earlier this year, book
Yeah.
about collaborating and stuff like that. And hey, man, whatever I could do to help, or even if we merge forces, I don't know what we end up doing.
Yeah.
It's just in the end, the outcome is the same. It's helping out those kids having an experience, you know. And I like what you do for these kids. And it's incredible. I mean, I'm seeing your like page, I'm seeing your
Mhm.
website, and I'm like,
Mhm.
man, this guy is going 1,000 miles per hour. I love it. It's so great.
No, there's a lot that goes into this. I think a lot of times that people see the type of things, not only what Raider Dad's doing, but what other people are doing, and we make it look so easy, right? Or
Yeah.
that, like anyone can do it. They are right. Anybody can do it, but who's going to be committed to the process? Who's going to, go the extra yard when it comes to creating these opportunities for kids? And, I've never sat up here and said that, Raider Dad, the organization, is the only people doing this. And because we're not, there's a lot of people that do what we're doing. I just think, at least myself, some of the people around us, we've been able to stay committed and just, sometimes we don't even really know how we're going to do these experiences or, just like you said, like, getting ticket donations. At times it's a very challenging process for something like this because you really never know what's going to happen. I always say, it's like basically we have a plan, but we have a plan B if this donation happens, or based on the outcome of how many start coming. Then we're like running a no huddle offense trying to throw this event together. But I I think no matter how much work we put into this, the outcome, the impact that we're having on these kids, it never measures up. As in, we the couple hours that we're putting in, these kids are going to remember this
Hmm.
long after the game's over, and we can't even understand what the impact's going to be because I don't know all of your upcoming, but you know, um, an experience for you might mean something so much more to somebody else. That's what I think's really great. This whole thing, just giving back, I was never like greatly involved in the community, but it's really given me so much more. But I'm trying to connect with a lot of different people. Uh, it's not just about Raider Dad. I feel like as Raider Dad grows, there's so many opportunities to bring other people up with them, up with us, and vice versa. So, maybe we can come together. Obviously, you brought some kids last year. That was something really great to have you be a part of. Everyone loves, seeing the videos with you at the tailgate, as the Power Raider. But let me ask you something. What is it about the Raiders fan base that, just giving so much about what we do? You think there's something that, like, I just don't know if all the fan bases are, doing as much, no matter what type of, whether it's a toy drive or maybe a backpack drive, or maybe it's a Raider Dad aspect. What is it about Raider Nation that we're constantly giving back to people?
I think because we have, I would say, Raider Nation unifies and rallies together so much, especially when there's events for a positive outcome. You
Mhm.
know, uh, for kids, everybody, hands down, they're always supporting. I mean, I've seen boxes full of toys for the toy drives. I mean, you've seen the events, that fill the bus events, and this Raider Nation just comes deep. And
Yeah.
I think we're so competitive. Raider fans were so competitive. We always want to win, you know, and because we want that win, and we've
Mhm.
been waiting for that big win for over 20 years. I mean, we're gonna win in these donations, always these drives, because we want to feel that win, and we want to bring that energy in there, and I think that's why everybody's so generous, and they welcome us with open arms. They, especially, with what we're in with kids, giving them that experience. It's just amazing. I like it, and people don't see all the time you put into this. People, and I oh, some days you stay up late, you're like
Mhm,
editing, doing all these
mhm,
flyers, putting events together. Trust me,
mhm,
it's hard. It is hard, and
mhm,
I do appreciate you welcoming the Run Squad to your tailgating party.
mhm.
They take care of us, took care of the kids, and all that.
Yeah.
That was really cool. The food and all, it was just cool. It's just like unfortunately, if you see the pictures that you took, my kids were
Mhm.
turned around. they,
I know. That was the only,
it,
I don't wanna say
it,
the bad part, but it would have been nice to being able to, but we understand, why we
yeah,
can't do that.
yeah, they're awarded the state, and some of these kids are taken because of child protection, whether it's drug related, sex related, or abuse related, or
Mhm,
child endangerment. We can't expose their faces at all, and everything. And so that's why it's very hard to promote Run Squad because I can't put these
mm.
pictures up, or I have pictures and
Right.
I have bruises and all that, uh, but it's just hard because of that. And I think that's one of my challenges I have. But you know what? On the positive side, that one day, that opening game or the opening preseason game,
Mhm,
we took a total. I think it was 17 kids that day, and I introduced them to the manager of Elite Stadium. We took a picture there. IE Cynthia was there. Raider Goon was there with me, welcoming the kids, and I told them what we do. They even interviewed me on the TV right there by the torch. And with that said, I guess it sparked something for Raiders Foundation. That the
mhm.
following game, the following preseason game, when I tried to reach out to Child Haven, I told him, "Hey,
Yeah.
I got 8 tickets and everything that got donated. We could take some kids." They're like, "Oh, we're okay. Raiders Foundation already took care of us." So
Oh,
they, yeah, they gave them a lot of tickets. I'm like, "Oh, wow, that's
oh,
cool."
that's really great.
That the connection happened because a lot of people don't know how they incentivize these kids. These foster
Mhm,
kids, they have no parent. They live in a facility, in Child Haven. They live in a facility, and they have guidelines and structures, and they incentivize the kids that are following those guidelines. So the kids that went to the Raider game last year, they're drug free, doing good in school, doing community service, and helping in the facility. And so why not reward them? 2 years ago when we launched this idea to them, it was crazy because um, we told them what we want to do and everything, and this is the first year for fans on the stands because the very first year was COVID, nobody was able to go. So 2 years
right.
ago we were being at the stadium, and I guess they didn't kind of believe us, but when we got all those ticket donations and we were able to bring kids, it just started
Mhm,
to ripple the whole community, the whole facility there. The coordinators calling me, "Hey Steve, I don't know what you did, but after the first game, all the kids wanted to volunteer. They wanted to help out. They were getting good grades and all that because they saw hope. That, hey man, you know what? They might not have a mom or dad or a family, but they got the Raider Nation backing them up, and so those kids were inspired, and from there, a lot of these kids just wanted to follow the guidelines just to get incentive, just to be chosen to go to the games, because these games are expensive, and who knows if these kids will ever be able to attend these games, but because of a lot of generous season ticket holders that donated tickets, they made that wow
mhm.
experience for those kids. And now I'm just glad that Raiders Foundation hooked up with them, and now they're hooking them up like left and right and all that, which is crazy. That's cool. I mean, like, now my ticket donations are lower, but it's fine. It's okay,
Yeah.
even if it's 4 or 3 kids, it's 3 kids that we made an epic experience for them.
Right, and, I think there's just something about Raider Nation when something good is happening, and it's not even we might not even really know each other, uh, at times, but it's like when once you see something good happening, it's like all of a sudden everyone's coming together, like, how can I help? And, that's how Raider Dad started, like, how you're going back in talking about, only helping a couple kids. When I started Raider Dad, eh, it was just in my head, I was like, "Oh, if we help 3 people, that's 3 more people that maybe would have never seen a Raiders game, and then we brought it onto a Facebook, and then we started talking about a tailgate, and then it's like, okay, we got 5 ticket donations, and it was up to 20, and you know how the hype train just kept going as we led up to the game. Everyone's getting excited about football again, and it's just there's just something about Raider Nation whenever it's kids, whenever it's about sharing our passion for a fan base. Everyone just comes together, and I feel like the impact is just so much greater, and that's something that I want people to understand. I feel like if all of us are doing great things, if we come together more, it's not so much about who's doing what, because if we start bringing together a lot of different people, I mean, who knows what we can provide for not only kids but families, a community. So we're going to actually take a short break, and we're going to thank one of our sponsors. After that, we'll come back and share a little bit of your experience at last year's preseason event. All right. So if you're just joining us, we have PowerRaider with us. We're going to start diving into last year's experience for him, some of the families that he was able to bring. But if you could just kind of, give our viewers, maybe people that are just following Raider Dad, an idea of what the experience was like for some people. Even, we were just getting started, but just describe some of the things that you were seeing at that tailgate.
Well, when we got there, I know we spoke the day before the game, and you
Mm.
said, hey, man, you could bring your kids over here. And we had about 17 kids. And it's crazy because they came in a big county van, a big white county van that said Clark County, Nevada. And
Mhm.
they had the phones with them and everything. And hey, come on, let's all go. It all came together, and sure thing. I'm like, it wasn't that hard to spot Raider Dad because you see all the kids in the middle of the tailgate. You see all the kids playing football and all that. I'm like,
Mhm.
that's got to be Raider Dad.
Mhm.
That's got to be where Josh is at with everybody.
Mhm.
And yeah, we walked in, and it was crazy because I let all the super fans know, hey, I'm coming with the kids. They're gonna have T-shirts that say Run Squad. Please welcome them, high five with them, and everything. If the kids take pictures with you, that's fine, but please don't take pictures of the kids. I
Mhm.
had it in somebody, because of the protection of the kids. But if the kids are using their social media, that's up to them. That releases our liability or anything like that. And
Right.
so.
Right.
Uh, it was cool because the minute we got there, you welcomed us and you say, hey, you introduced us to what was his name from Jay's Gourmet?
Uh, Jay and Stella.
Yeah. They were helping out with serving the kids food, and it was cool. It was just a great experience because these kids thought they were just gonna go straight to the game. I'm like, nah, we're gonna go and have fun, mingle with the super fans. You're gonna get some food, and then it was just an incredible experience. The fact that you were able to provide that to them. I mean, because honestly, it was like, okay, what am I gonna do? Just walk around the tailgating. But no, you had your structure there. You had your media there. All the kids seem happy, energetic. I don't know how they were able to do it because they stayed for the whole game and they were playing football early. This kid had
Right.
so but it was cool, and just to see their parents, or their coaches or whoever, all these people, like, man, you made this happen. All it takes is one idea, you know, and an idea and action, put them
Mhm.
together, you got that big result. You know, a lot of people have ideas, but they don't take action, and you made it happen.
Mhm.
You know, and I applaud you for that. That's really cool.
I
But yeah,
appreciate that. The one thing that what I love, I mean, of course, I'm gonna love Raider Dad. It's what I put everything into, but I think it's really great. I mean, we're providing game day experience to people, but there's just a whole different element to Raider Dad because we add that tailgate experience, right? We're not just, we talk we've talked multiple times throughout this podcast that there's a lot of people that give out tickets, but there's just something different when you're inviting them to to a tailgate. It's the idea of we might not fully understand what families are going through, but it's the idea of bringing them together with a community and letting them know, hey, we got your back, or hey, we're going to help you through this, or hey, we're taking athletes now. Hey, we're going to show you, what putting, these two a days in, what constantly going to camps, what could possibly happen if you put everything all and lay it all on the line for this sport, what could happen? You could possibly be playing here one day, or maybe at a collegiate level. I just think there's something about bringing people together, and I couldn't be prouder of this type of concept. Not that we invented it; we didn't invent tailgating, but to be able to give tailgate a purpose, I just feel like it changes not only game day experience, but Raiders game day experience, because that's what it's about. We're putting a Raiders culture, on display. I know you work with All In Autumn Wind, right? So he's went on there and he's talked about the giving nature of the Raider fan base, and I just feel like there's just so much potential for uh, something like Raider Dad or other organizations. But and if you were to, what's your thoughts on what's the potential of Raider Dad for a community and the Raiders fan base?
I think for you, I would say the sky's the limit because you live in Las Vegas, and so
Yeah.
a lot easier to get those the partnerships, and just like you mentioned, Brian from All In Auto Win, he records the behind the scenes stuff. He records what happens before the game, after the game, the parties that lead to the game. I think that people don't see, you know, and I love what he does, and you're doing the same thing, highlighting all the epic moments with the kids, and it's just the possibilities that you have out there are enormous. Pretty soon there's gonna be a big corporation that's gonna call you, hey Josh, you know what, I love what you're doing. Bam,
I hope you're right.
hey, I'm throwing that energy to you. I'm throwing it to you. I want, because you have the time, you have the effort, you have everything. I'm pulled left and right everywhere right now. Just to share a little bit, this whole weekend I was just recruiting super fans for a commercial, for a YouTube commercial that we're filming
Okay.
over. So tomorrow we got fittings, and then Monday we're doing a shoot and all that. And so I'm doing that, and then I'm promoting the Woods and Whiskey over here. I'm promoting the Golf Event over here. It's crazy, but I love it. I love to help out wherever I could. And when people say, "Do you get paid for it?" I'm like, "No, I get paid for nothing."
Yeah,
I
right. We're
it,
we're we're definitely underpaid.
right. Like how many hours we put into this, and then we don't see a dime. Because especially in a license or a nonprofit corporation, you can't
Yeah.
commingle funds, you can't embezzle anything. You have a separate account for everything. The donations go to here. and then the taxes is another freaking headache.
Yeah,
But
right.
it's just the behind the scene that people don't see these things, and that's why I understand, and that's why I value everything you're doing, because I go through that and I'm like, damn, how does Josh does this? It's
A
but
lot of a lot of people ask if I sleep, which, as you can see, it's we're recording this at midnight right now, so not
oh yeah,
really.
that's my prime time. My prime time is at midnight. Right now, after this call, I'm gonna hit it. I hit the gym. I have to go at least do 45-minute workout, because again, I'm doing that challenge, and I gotta read my 10 pages a day of a non-fictional leadership book. And right now, I'm almost about to finish this book. Uh, what's it called? Called Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Okay.
This is Yeah, it's a great book.
Is
Uh,
that what you shared? Is that from what you shared today? Recent,
no,
like a
today
couple
was
hours?
actually this one. I finished this book
Okay.
already. It's by Jeff Olson, not Joe Olson. Joe, that's Joe Olson's the pastor. Jeff Olson is the
Okay.
author. Uh, I finished that one, and then I finished this one. Who Moved My Cheese? Talking about how we need to adapt with our environment. When our environment changes, a lot of the times we're resistant to change, and
Mhm.
then we miss all those opportunities because we want to stick to our old school ways. And we have to be a chameleon and change with the ways. And I'm sure you're constantly always changing how you're going to do your events,
Mhm.
how to model here and there. And it's a lot of time. It's a lot of time. Like I was saying, we don't get paid for these things, but
Right.
um,
Right.
it, it's just it's just a priceless. You can't put a price on it or anything like that. It's just we love doing it, and thank God for technology. You know, People are able to see these podcasts. You know,
Mhm.
understand what it takes to do these type of events or these type of organization, and anybody could do it. It's just having the time and effort, and putting that idea into action, and of course, Raider Nation is there to help you out. But if it's something good, Raider Nation will be there hands down. If you're a good person, if you're a great leader, if you carry yourself, your perception right, and all that, people will follow you. It's kind of hard to have people to follow you or to support you when when you're not balanced yourself. Going back into that square that I told you, you know, to be successful, you got to look successful. You had to have the leadership qualities. You have to have the spiritual, emotional, physical, and economical. Everything balanced, because you can't keep putting out money, right? Yeah.
Right. That's one of the things that I really appreciate. And I appreciate all the kind things that you say about Raider Dad. But there's it's really cool to have, share my own story, because the concept of Raider Dad, like, it's not made up, like, I don't just do this to look the part. Like, I was taking my kids to games, and the concept comes from my own life. And to hear, to connect with people or get people to buy in to what our mission is, it just puts, just gives me another perspective and appreciation, because, like, at times, especially recently, people will stop me, or, like, they'll just message me about, how great it is for a fan base to have something like this now. And, they wish they would have had a Raider Dad. Not saying that they wanted me, but just an organization that provides this type of experience for people. Uh, I, j- I just really want to thank everybody that's supported the mission, supported what we're doing, whether it's not always about, handing money to us, or, buying certain things, or donating tickets. Of course, that helps us and gives us a bigger impact. But uh, there's just so much more by people just sharing your story, sharing what you're doing out there, because you just never know who's going to hear about it, and how much that can really help us. I don't. I don't want to keep you too much longer, but I just wanted to know, when you were a kid, what were you able to go to games like this, or is there something to Raider Dad that really, connects with you?
Yeah, well, being the first generation here, my parents
Mhm,
migrated. They came over here. Um, Raiders is diehard over there. It's very deep in Mexico, and my parents came over here. They were able to watch a few games at the Coliseum, um, tailgating with their friends or what have you. But I never experienced a Raider game as a youth,
mhm.
because my parents would only go if somebody would have invited them, because we weren't a rich
Right.
family. I'm not ashamed to say, I was raised with food
Mhm,
stamps. You know,
mhm,
um, I was raised with that. I would my shopping was secondhand stores. I mean, my mom, she knew how to sew and do my clothes. She'd do all my boxers and everything. And we weren't the
mhm,
richest family, but we had heart, and we had a passion. And my mom decided to get out of that cycle. She went
mhm,
into school, and she got her BA and master's in teaching, and now she's a teacher for Baldwin High Unified School District. My dad also works in the school district too, and
mhm,
so my dad's always been a salesman and everything. And so with that said, I never had these opportunities when I was a child. Later, I would say when I was a teen and all that, it's just the opportunity never came. I actually went to my first game in 2005. I think that was
mhm,
the last year Woodson played, or 2006, one of those years.
mhm,
Uh, I was working at a bank, U.S. Bank to be exact. I was a teller, and my good friend now, his name's Rick. He was my business customer. He always saw me with my Raider stuff and all that, and he's all like, "You're a Raider fan?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a Raider fan and everything." He goes, "Have you ever been to a game?" I'm like, "Nah. One day I'll go. One day I'll go." I never thought I could buy a ticket to Oakland uh, and go to a game or fly out or anything like that. And, because I was a teller, I wasn't making that much and all that. And so I started to change the way I think, and a lot of
mhm.
these books helped me to where I'm at now. I'm a commercial business banker now. I'm really good right now, but now I want to help others. That's why I read what I read today. If you guys, today is
Mhm.
what day are we in? June 20
Uh,
something, or
uh, I don't even know the date, but it's Saturday now, so.
Saturday. But go into my social media, you see what I read. And I always try to help out people. And uh, I wish there was an organization like this, or maybe there was back then. I don't know. But if Raider Dad was around, that would have been an epic memory for me, to do that, to experience the game. Because again, uh, especially now with Raiders, how expensive the tickets are.
Right. Right, especially, not,
I was that.
in today and being in Las Vegas, games are pretty expensive. We're always in the what, top 3 to 5 range of most expensive games. What I really find interesting, I guess I don't know if interesting is the right word, but you talk to a lot of people that have been fans for decades, and you come across them on social media, and they have so much passion for a team. And there's people like that, 50 years have never been to a Raiders game. And I can't actually speak on why they haven't, but I mean, it's probably mostly because of their financial means. So the type of opportunities that we're able to provide people, it just shows what how great it is to be able to do this for some people, especially at a young age, because that's really important to help people grow. uh you know I just really love the concept of Raider Dad, and just so much uh of an impact in so many people's lives. But we're gonna let you go. I don't want to keep you too much longer, but I really do appreciate you coming on. Are you gonna end up coming to preseason, or what's the outlook looking like?
I will be in every
Oh, you
game,
will
every home game.
every home
Uh, we,
game.
we got a lot of events coming up, especially that weekend where we play the Monday Night Football with Green Bay. It's gonna be Raiders, Green Bay, and Charles Woodson events are gonna be crazy that weekend. Uh, the home opener, I'm already booked already. Uh, I mean, I'm wearing my Black Hole T-shirt.
We'll have some What's in Whiskey at all of our events too. So we really appreciate
Yeah,
What's in Whiskey for helping us, spread the love around the Raider Nation. There you go.
today is brought to you by Woodson Whiskey.
There you go. Free advertising. I really
Yeah,
appreciate you coming on. Hopefully, I'll get to see you around. For anyone listening right now, go follow Power Raider. GoGo PowerRaider is the hashtag. I'm pretty sure you're on most of the social medias, right?
I am. Yeah. The only thing I'm not in is Snapchat. I never got into Snapchat.
Yeah,
Uh,
me either.
I'm on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. And that's pretty much it.
Uh,
It's too much to handle. I mean, I can't be everywhere.
right,
'Cause,
right,
yeah, then you're gonna end up being an octopus with roller skates. Tremendous activity, but no direct.
right. Yeah, but once again, thanks for joining us. Hopefully, we'll see you at the preseason, if not the home opener.
There you go.